The Punishment of Erysichthon, the Curse of Insatiable Hunger. In Callimachus's hymn to Demeter, the story takes place in Dodium, a holy place in Thessaly, where the Pelasgians had created a beautiful grove sacred to Demeter. Modeled on Alcinous' garden and the cave of Calypso in the Odyssey, there were pines, elms, fruit trees, and attractive watercourses. The scene is idyllic, and the goddess is madly fond of her peaceful grove. One day, the young, arrogant Prince Erysichthon, accompanied by 20 men, entered the grove with axes and cleavers. His stated intent was to cut down the trees to build a new banqueting hall for his home, an act of extreme hubris that placed his personal feasting above the sanctity of the gods. Erysichthon's men hesitated to harm the sacred grove, but the prince, in his shameless arrogance, began to attack a tall poplar tree with his own axe. This tree, with its supernatural size, was particularly cherished by the nymphs who danced around it at noon. As the axe bit into the wood, the tree groaned in pain, a sound that alerted Demeter to the transgression. Demeter, sensing the distress of her sacred timber, flew down to the grove and took the form of Nisippe, the city's public priestess. She approached Erysichthon and spoke soothingly, attempting to reason with him as a mortal might warn a child about the goddess's anger. She urged him to stop cutting the trees dedicated to the gods. Erysichthon, however, responded with extreme disrespect and violence. He rudely dismissed her warnings and threatens to strike the priestess with his axe if she didn't leave. Finally, Erysichthon declared that he needs the wood for a new feast hall, prioritizing his luxury over the divine. Now speechless and angry, the goddess appears in her divine form, towers to the heavens in wrathful epiphany, causing panic and fear around her. The goddess proceeds to mock Erysichthon, echoing his words, stating since he is so eager to feast, his meal will come thick and fast. Demeter cursed Erysichthon with insatiable, ravening hunger, athon limos. No matter how much he ate or drank, he could never be full. Erysichthon's family was ashamed. His mother made excuses for his absence to visitors. He consumed his family's entire fortune, spending all his wealth on food. He even ate the horses and mules belonging to his household. He was eventually reduced to a beggar, sitting at a crossroads, living off the foul scraps and crumbs of food thrown away by passers-by. In Ovid's Metamorphoses, Mestra is described as the beautiful daughter of Erysichthon, who was once taken by Poseidon. Although she was eventually returned to her father, her home was far from peaceful. Erysichthon had shown grave disrespect to the gods by cutting down a sacred grove belonging to Demeter. As punishment, Demeter cursed him with insatiable hunger, a relentless, gnawing appetite that no amount of food could satisfy. He devoured everything in his household, all their stores of food, the livestock, and even sold every valuable belonging in a desperate attempt to buy more. Still, his hunger only grew. When everything else was gone, Erysichthon realized the only thing left to profit from was his own daughter. He sold Mestra, either as a slave or as a bride, to obtain more food. Unwilling to be owned by anyone, Mestra prayed to Poseidon, who answered her plea. He granted her the power to shapeshift, allowing her to transform into any creature or person. Using this gift, she escaped those who had purchased her. For reasons the myth does not explain, Mestra kept returning to her father, and Erysichthon quickly realized he had found an endless source of income. Each time he sold Mestra, she could flee in a new form and come back to him, allowing him to sell her again and again. But even this endless stream of money could not satisfy his cursed hunger. Eventually, driven mad by starvation, Erysichthon consumed his own body, destroying himself at last. Unlike Ovid's later version of the myth, which ends with Erysichthon eating himself, Callimachus's poem concludes abruptly with the image of Erysichthon in this state of perpetual, agonizing hunger and public humiliation, stuck in an endless punishment that is worse than death. Dionysus was involved in the myth of Erysichthon, although he did not appear as an active character in the narrative itself. Callimachus explicitly states that whatever offends Demeter also offends Dionysus. Both goddesses and gods associated with vegetation and sustenance shared the anger over Erysichthon's impious act of cutting down their sacred grove. While Demeter inflicted the primary curse of insatiable hunger upon Erysichthon, Callimachus implies that Dionysus complemented this punishment by also inflicting a coexisting, unquenchable thirst. The text notes, "As much as he ate, so much did he desire again. 12 drew wine. For whatsoever things vex Demeter, vex also Dionysus. For Dionysus shares the anger of Demeter." The story of Erysichthon serves not only as cautionary tale, but as reminder that the power to nourish life naturally includes the power to withdraw it. If you liked this video, please support us by giving a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel.